country where people.
Why would you want to?
I want to live in a country where people are allowed to say what they want unashamedly, and you will.
Well, go
not
on then.
have
Say
free,
it. Say
you
the
will
M.
not have
Go on.
free
Say.
speech.
Go on. Say the M word. Go on.
No.
Hang
Don't
on.
invite. No.
No.
I don't want you to invite this woman to say a racially harmful term in front of me, because I'm the only on here. So if she says it, I'm the victim of it. So please don't invite her for ratings to call me the N-word, because that's basically what it's going to be. There's a bunch of white people up here. You and one Uncle Tom on the left here, and asking her to say the N-word while I'm here is ridiculous. You would not sit here with a Jewish person and say, please use a Jewish slur in front of this Jewish. It's ridiculous. I understand you don't have any bad intent, Pierce. I understand what you're trying to do. But we already know she's racist, and I don't want to invite a racial harm to me.
I hear you, and I accept that, and we'll leave it there. Thank you all very much.
I want to live in a country where people are.
Why would you want to support a white racist?
Because I want to support free speech, and you cannot have free speech in a country.
No, that's fine. You can support free speech, but you also have to be accountable for what you say. I mean, would you use the N-word out of interest?
Yes.
You would?
I do, quite frequently.
You use the N-word quite frequently. Well, why? Other than the fact you're a despicable racist. Are you?
Some would say I am. I guess according to the ADL, I'm a white supremacist. I'm a neo-Nazi.
Yeah, but if you use the N-word repeatedly, you are a racist, then, are you?
Sure, I'll embrace that. If that means forwarding, helping white people achieve freedom of speech, real freedom of speech, which, by the way, Shiloh Hendricks is being attacked on all fronts. They're trying to bring legal charges against her. They're trying to get her children taken away. So you were saying Carmelo Anthony, it doesn't matter. That's a different.
Sorry, but just to be clear, you just said to me you use the N-word regularly. In what context? Do you use it with black people? Why would you want to support a white racist?
Because I want to support free speech, and you cannot have free speech in a country.
That's fine. You can support free speech, but you also have to be accountable for what you say. Would you use the N-word out of interest?
Yes.
You would?
I do, quite frequently.
You use the N-word quite frequently?
Yes, if it's appropriate.
When would it be appropriate to use the N-word? When would it be appropriate?
Anytime I feel like it.
So you're an unashamed racist?
Correct.
Well, do you understand that makes you a despicable human being?
I guess so. I don't really care. I mean, why are we not talking about Shiloh Hendricks? Why are we talking about?
Well, actually, I think you've moved it on in this debate very quickly to your own racism, which explains why you've supported her in public and why you've got all these views. You see no problem with a woman shrieking the N-word repeatedly because you yourself are a despicable racist, and you've just proudly admitted that with a smug grin on your face, which is pretty horrifying, actually, for most people to have to watch. And shame on you. You're entitled to do it, and I'm entitled to call you despicable.
The blacks being like, oh, we're gonna get a race war. If there was a race war, you wouldn't win, okay? First of all, you might have plenty of guns, but you don't know how to shoot them. You think this is how you shoot guns. You think this is how you shoot a pistol. That's not. I know you saw that in a movie and you thought it looked cool, and you saw your favorite fucking rapper doing that, but that's not how you aim and shoot a gun. The only reason blacks have not exterminated themselves in the hood, because black on black violence is insane and through the roof, is because they're such horrible shots. So you really think you're gonna beat a duck hunter who shoots ducks for a living, for fun, on his free time, and doesn't miss? Really?
Shalom, shalom. Call Halayim La, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, BAHASHAM Kakudash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone and teacher move well. Peace and salutations be to hopeful elect. I'm the Tazawam coming to you from the Prophets in Babylon camp here in Tampa, Florida. Okay, so this lesson is going to be going into this video with this lady, which she was on the news, I believe, or on a podcast or whatever. And basically she was defending the woman I did a lesson on a few lessons ago, Shiloh Hendricks, who ended up, this is the woman, Shiloh is the woman that ended up calling the baby Jake, the N-word for taking her son's diaper bag. And she ended up raising, last time I checked, it was $780,000 something, almost $1 million, to protect her family from, I guess, backlash from saying the N-word to a baby boy, to a young Jake boy. Okay. Which this new lady that just rose up new Edomite devil, new Edomite demon that just rose up. She's now all of a sudden she's speaking on Shiloh Hendricks' case and on her behalf. Okay, as though she's a firm supporter of her. All right, so she brought up the topic of a race war because I'm sure people were bringing up to her, you're going to start a race war, you know. Now she was responding to it. I love how black people keep talking about race war. Really, we were teaching elders and apostles, Great Millstone on down. We're teaching the race wars for 30 plus years, man. That's going to come. That's going to happen. This is an end time event. And this video itself, these things that are coming out now is all just signs of the end. Signs that the Lord has shown us. Okay, that we can see clearly. Okay. Right here. In the book of Ecclesiasticus chapter 12 and verse 10 says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. So she first appeared on a podcast talking about how she feel like we should say the N-word. Matter of fact, I'm gonna see if I can grab that. I'm gonna put both videos in the intro, Lord willing. Okay, so that you know the whole, you know, how this woman even rose up, where she came from. All right, the Lord sent the spirits out into the earth, and these spirits are, rousing up more spirits in others. Okay, so these Edomites felt like Shiloh Hendricks was their Messiah or something. She did a thing by saying the N-word, and now this lady comes out saying she feel like we all should be able to say it. And they asked her, do you say it regularly? She said, yeah, frequently. Okay, so she said, I feel like we should be able to say what we want to say with freedom of speech. All right. So, in fact, I was watching a video this morning of a guy calling Jake an N-word today, and Jake attacked him. Okay, so you see that this is rousing Jake up. Matter of fact, we could grab that. Genesis chapter 49 verse 9. Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down, he couched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? So who's gonna rouse Jake up? See, these Edomites are getting to the point where they ready to rouse Jake up. Okay, they wanting to do something. All right, and Jake ain't having it. Jake to a point now where they have had ample freedom to build their own gangs and their own cultures and their own rules to what they would allow as disrespect with these Edomites. Back then, that shit would fly. These Edomites can get away with it, but at this point, Jake may not get it, or these Edomites may not get away with that without starting a war anymore, which is really gonna cause Jacob's trouble. A lot of shit's gonna cause Jacob's trouble, man. These devils really hate you, and they about to show their hatred for you. And now that Trump's in office, he not gonna deny it. You ain't see him saying nothing about this pandemic of N-word blasphemy coming out. Okay, this one raised up almost nearly $1 million. She probably had $1 million already, but at one day she already raised up 200,000. In the next few days, 500,000, and now I'm seeing, from what I've seen yesterday or the day before, she's at almost 800,000, 200,000 shy from 1 million. Okay, for calling a Jake boy the N-word, and now she's in fear for her life, and her reputation and image is gonna get damaged. And she just got $1 million off of calling a Jake the N-word. So understand what this means. There's many Edomites out here that are looking, that have that same spirit on them and support that same spirit that just wants to exercise their so-called freedom of speech on you Jakes, and also they want to exercise their blessing on you, because she just came out and said, race wars, you niggas don't even know how to hold a gun, basically, which we've been saying the same things, okay, which is how you know this is the spirit talking, that the Lord put that spirit in the earth, okay, because she said, you niggas don't even know how to hold a gun, you hold it sideways and miss all your shots. She said, I believe blacks would have been eradicated right now for all their gun violence and all their black on black crime, so-called, if they had better aim. She said, but you always missing all your shots, and you really expect to go against a race war with the Edomites, pretty much is what she's saying. You really expect to go against a race war with Edomites who are duck hunters. They hunt ducks, and they do this for fun. Well, she's absolutely right. They got their little babies hunting. Okay, these little it's like these little Edomite minions are actually hunting now. They doing shit like Black Widow. They moving like Black Widow was on Avengers, man. Okay, I seen a young Edomite girl, clearly a sharpshooter. All right, hitting everything in her sight. I seen another Edomite guy who was using a bow and arrow and shooting Tylenol pills out of the air backwards without looking. Okay, so Jake, you might be in trouble if you don't turn to your blessing. That's why, matter of fact, I'll grab it. That's why the book of Psalms, chapter 110 and verse 3 says, "Thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power. In the beauties of holiness, from the womb of the morning, thou hast the dew of thy youth." So when the elect really start raising up a power, Jake gonna start raising up too. Okay, Jake gonna be willing in the day of our power. When the Lord sends power upon his men, and Jake around seeing this power being utilized, they gonna say, "Yo, we do have power. Okay, we don't need to go. We got the Lord, YAHAWASHI." That's when Jake really gonna start trusting in the Lord, YAHAWASHI. You know, a lot of Jake's gonna be killed off, but that great multitude gonna be delivered. Okay, so there you have it, man. It's not about whether Jake can shoot better or not. Okay, this is about the end times, principalities, evil, spiritual wickedness in high places. Okay, dominions, rulership, demons, light versus darkness. YAHAWASHI delivering his people. That's what this is about. And it's gonna be this side. That's how you know we in the end, because scriptures say the end. I'll grab it. In the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 9 and verse 6, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonderful and powerful works, and endings and signs, and endings and effects and signs. So you're seeing the signs and effects that are taking place as of now, because we're in those last days. All right, and where you actually have race wars being debated over live television now. Okay, so this goes to show you, and this is all brewing up. You had Jake that killed a cop for killing his son. That's got Jake. Yeah, I looked in the comments, and you got Jake in the comments saying, "I'm so happy for my people. We starting to stand up and shit like that." And now you got this Edomite calling Jake an N-word, the young Jake an N-word, and you got these Edomites that are donating up to $1 million to this bitch, man. So what do you take from that? You know, what do you think is going to happen from this? All right, these things are happening, and the whole world is seeing it. Okay, it's not just a few people seeing it. It's not just a handful of people that seeing these things happen. The whole world is noticing these things, because these people are becoming infamous for what they've done. Now here it is. You have Jake rising up for their people, and Edomites rising up for their people, and remembering their nature. These Edomites are beginning to remember their nature now. How that they hate light, how they hate righteousness, how they hate Jake. All right. In the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 15 and verse 15. Hold that thought. Hold that thought. Second Ezra 15 and 15. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. So Jake gonna be using little as measly handguns, while you're gonna have Edomites sitting at the top of skyscrapers sniping shit. Okay, it's gonna be an all-out war. By the time it's all said and done, you Jake gonna be in pitiful case. You're gonna need the Lord. This is what's gonna go down. You, Jake, gonna probably try to rebel. Okay? It's gonna cause a war against these Edomites. Trump also gonna send out his troops. Alright? To control the situation, but really it's gonna be to kill off you Jakes. That's why the scriptures say Jacob's trouble. This whole nation is against you, Jake. We dealt with a Jake not too long ago at camp. He was talking about we should all just rise up together and un momento. Gracias. Saying we should all just rise up together and go and attack them ourselves. Take the initiative to attack them as a whole, as a group ourselves. Okay? Which is off. Which is it's definitely off. We corrected the man. He still ain't received correction. He didn't want to receive it. So in that time, you may see his ass on the front lines with a handgun tilted sideways, missing all his shots. All right. You said we don't. We if we get together, we gotta stop just talking about it. We need to just get together and do something, man. I'm Action Jackson. You know, roughly paraphrase. This nigga think he can just go up and go up against super soldiers and these Edomites who perfected their blessings. Okay, it's not going to end up well for you. You need the Lord, YAHAWASHI. He is our deliverer. That's his name, YAHAWASHI. He delivers. Okay, if you can't trust in the Lord to deliver you, who's going to deliver you? Who's going to save you from these devils? Okay, our enemies have become too strong for us, and we need help. And Jake is too prideful to admit that. They're going to rather go and tilt the gun sideways and paint the ground with their bullets, while their target is painting their ass with their bullets. Okay? I seen these Edomites with fire rounds. You, Jake, do not stand a chance. They got the money to purchase these things. Jake ain't got the money. Jake spending they bottom dollar to get a fucking handgun, man. Handguns are outdated these days. These devils got missiles. They got drones. Obama says something. I have one word for you. Predator drones. These are drones that hunt you down. You see the drone videos over there in Ukraine and Russia, or you see these fucking drones just hitting these troops. These troops just sitting down and accepting their fate. Now they starting to die with style. They starting to lay down on the floor and cross their legs and put their hand on their head and laying down with style. This feels a dance move because they know they're gonna die from these predator drones. All right, and the drones just flying around, observing them, giving them their last show. And then at the end, it blows them up still to get the job done. All right, so this is no joke, man. You Jakes are in trouble. These Edomites, they saying these things on live television. This was orchestrated. Do you not believe that this was orchestrated? How do you think she was able to raise up to $1 million? This was all orchestrated. This devil is orchestrating a race war. These things must be done so that he can cause order out of chaos. 2nd Ezra 13:31. And one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another. So in the end, this is going to be one realm, because it's going to be the realm of the heavens against the realm of the earth. Okay, all these people are fighting each other. They're going to band together to fight against the Lord and going to die in an instant. You niggas are not ready, and you Edomites aren't ready. You don't understand what kind of power is hovering above the earth, is towering above the earth. You don't understand that power. You Jake don't understand, and you Edomites definitely don't understand. Your pride has deceived you, as the scriptures say in Obadiah. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks. You was a caveman. You think you can come up to heaven and challenge the Lord? YAHAWASHI? You are in severe trouble. Okay? I remember having a Yapa vision. I was getting hunted down by these so-called bounty hunters, these Edomite hunters that were skilled in hunting and killing and assassinating. Okay? They were too mighty for me. So the Lord defended me on my behalf. The Lord stepped in on my behalf and defended me because I trusted in his name in these dreams, man. I remember it was one time I was coming out of a room. I was hiding from him. I was hiding from the bounty hunter. And I realized that there's nowhere I can hide, that I have to come out and face him. Okay, maybe I can try to escape. But when I came out the door, he was behind me. I came out and looked to my right, but he was on my left side, already attempting to assassinate me. Okay, I would have been done in an instant had it not been for the Lord. So when I turned around, he was already up in the air. Okay, That mean the Lord was doing the work. I ain't do nothing. I walked out like a sheep being led to the slaughter, man. But the Lord was there for me. And that's what we need. We need a defense that's stronger than these Edomites, because as of now, we have no power in our hands. As scripture say, Deuteronomy 28, and there shall be no power in your hands, no might in your hands. We got nothing. But what we do have is our blessing, the Lord, YAHAWASHI. The scripture say if we all face the east today and pray to the Lord and ask for forgiveness, he deliver us immediately out of the hands of our enemies, man. Okay? Not all Jake are in accordance with that. Not all Jake believe. Scripture say the same gospel was preached to all the world, but they didn't receive it. They couldn't receive it because it wasn't being mixed in with faith. They didn't believe. Jake don't believe. But when they see that elect raising up with that power, they're going to start to believe. All right? And nevertheless, in the dream, I turned around. The dude was already in the air. And it looked as though something invisible had a grip on his neck. He was kicking his legs back and forth. When I looked down, I seen his legs, his feet hovering above the floor. So something strong and mighty had to be holding this guy up in the air. Okay, because I can't do that with he was taller than me. This dude was taller than me. Like he was towering over me type deal. He was a big guy, big bounty hunter. Something was holding his ass in the air that had his feet kicking in the air, dangling above the floor as if he was a toddler. And I was looking at him with a straight face. I had a blank expression on my face. So to him, it looked like I might have been utilizing spiritual power with my mind or telekinesis to choke him out and hold him in the air. But he was begging to me, please, I'm your brother. I came here to help you. Little did he know, I didn't initiate that attack. I didn't initiate that attack. And while he trying to deceive me to tell me he my brother, the Lord knows you came to kill me. That's why he had you in that position. Okay? He didn't come to help me. So it wasn't up to me to decide whether or not this guy was for me. This guy might help me. This guy gonna look out for me. The Lord knew he came to kill me, and the Lord took his ass out. And that's what we gonna need in that day. And when these devils get roused up against us. All right. Nevertheless, he was screaming. He was trying to get the words out. I'm your brother. I came to help you. Don't do it. I'm here to help you. I'm not attacking you. I'm on your side. As he was explaining this, all I could do was watch as the Lord squeezed the life out of him, crushed his neck. All you see was blood splatter. Okay, blood splattered on me, my garment, the floor, and he dropped to the floor. Okay, I was with another brother, the head of my camp, my bar. And when I looked down, when he dropped to the floor, when he hit the floor, I looked down to see myself hovering above the floor as well. So I was flying. I was floating. The Spirit of the Lord, YAHAWASHI, was heavy upon me. I floated down the hallway, or flew down the hallway, if you will, and hit the corner to see my brother. He got into a similar predicament where he had to slaughter someone too. Well, the Lord pretty much defended him. And when I seen he was wearing his garment, and his garment was stained with blood, and he was hovering above the floor as well. When I met him, it wasn't like, yo, the Lord. It was, let's get moving. So it goes to show you that the Lord, that experience, that response goes to show you that the Lord had already been delivering us from situations like these. Okay? We have been seeing the Lord delivering us. So the Lord going to take care of us, brothers. We got nothing to worry about. This race war is for you niggas. It's for 2/3 of our people. They going to perish in these things. Matter of fact, if I can grab that too. In the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 40 and verse... Ecclesiasticus chapter 40 and verse 8. Such things happen unto all flesh, both man and beast, and that is sevenfold more upon sinners. Death and bloodshed, strife and sword, calamities, famine, tribulation, and the scourge. These things are created for the wicked, and for their sakes came the flood. So guess what, brothers? For their sakes is coming the fire. Once again. Okay, these things weren't created for us. All these torments, this death, and all these terrible things that are about to happen upon the earth. These things weren't created for us. Okay? These things were created for the wicked. Those that don't obey the will of the Lord, Yahawashi. Those that don't obey the gospel. Scripture say if judgment shall begin at our house, begin with us, what shall be the end of them that obey not the gospel? You niggas definitely ain't making it. Scripture say the righteous shall be scarcely saved by the skin of his teeth. All right, if we're gonna make it by the skin of our teeth, barely make it. I'm talking about, I've seen visions where I'm running down the street and bullets are piercing through my clothes but not touching my skin. So by the skin of our teeth, we gonna make it. What are you niggas? Where are you niggas gonna be found at, man? You wicked niggas that think you can just tote the pistol, tote the Glock, shoot your brother and make fuck on his wife. I think you can go toe to toe with Esau with a handgun. What's gonna be the end of you niggas? You niggas will be nowhere to be found. All right. So the topic of this lesson is race wars, or somewhere along that lines, you know. But that being said, I truly hope this lesson was edifying to you. YAHAWAH, listen to truth and sincerity. So next semester, I give all glory, honor, and praises unto YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM,